we're back.
We're back. There's a handful of things. I kind of hate the bi-weekly recording schedule because usually things happen a day or two after our first initial recording, and then we can't talk about it for what seems like months. First and foremost, the Kyoto animation tragedy over in Japan. Very sad news. I'm sure anybody who's very big on anime has already heard about it, but just in case you guys didn't know, Kyoto Animation unfortunately was attacked by a guy who dumped gasoline all over the place and then lit the entire building on fire. Nearly 33 people died. It's all very, very, very tragic and very sad. If you're not familiar with Kyoto Animation, they have made things like a Violet Evergarden, one of my personal favorite shows, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I don't know, Gabe, and if you want to mention any of your favorite shows.
They made K-On! That's always been a good one.
That's a good one.
Classic.
Silent Voice is also like it's up there.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
That's
too
fair.
much sad on sad.
That's fair. So
yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're absolutely great studio. I mean, easily top in their game. It's very unfortunate that this happened. So if you guys feel the need to help out in any way, shape, or form, we'll be providing direct links in the description for how you can donate. There is a different studio holding a GoFundMe, or you can just go directly to their page and buy their products. That, of course, helps in the rebuilding of everything. Like I said, I don't want to get too into it. So that's pretty much it. Gabe, if you want to talk any more about the subject.
No, because I'm probably gonna get too wound up in it, too emotional. So I'll let you leave it at that,
okay.
And we can move on to some happier stuff.
So there's going to be some nice music right here. This is episode 29 of Trashchan, the one about Space Dandy. For the listening audience, and then we'll talk about cool stuff.
Sounds good.
The usual stuff. Okay, so yeah, all right. Now the cool show, the show that you listen to hang out like you're hanging out with your best buds that like to talk about anime a little too much, and like every trope of your best bud who talks about anime way too much, we gonna talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, or Gabe, or we could start off with an even lighter subject about that gamer girl bathwater.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know you were going to throw that at me.
I know. I'm sorry. It happened like the...
Wait.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the fact that she who shall not be named sold actual bathwater and it sold out very quickly? Or the fact that she only after doing this and after being on Instagram and social media for so many years, finally got banned because of it?
Oh, dude, I know. I love how, like, on one hand, I was, like, so angry because I was, like, keeping up to date on the story. For those who don't, somehow, if you don't know about the gamer girl bathwater, I don't know who you are that's listening to the show that has not heard about this yet. Most of our audience is probably like, come on, dude, it's been like 2 weeks, because this shit literally happened the day after we recorded our Evangelion show, which is not out from this recording.
Oh, that's
still,
right.
Because I keep going over it and I'm just unhappy with the edit. The show is good, but I think I'm getting a little too over-focused on editing the show because, I don't know, Evangelion's important to me. Anyways, Gamer Girl Bathwater, also important to me.
That's those two. You can't combine those two, man.
Obviously,
you can't have.
Listen,
you can't have
listen,
Evergarden.
When I pilot
Evangelion.
Listen, when I am drafted.
No.
When I am drafted,
Evangelion and Gamer Girl Bathwater do not go on the same level. Okay, that just doesn't work. All right, you're not gonna put Gamer Girl Bathwater in the X tier right now with Fully Cooley and Evangelion.
Listen. In 2055, all right, when Neo America has to take over the rest of the continents of the world because we are so low on resources, and I get drafted into the military, and we pilot my first Evangelion, the thing I've been dreaming about since I was a young child. All right, I don't want that LCL in my plug. That's what I was going for. I don't want LCL in my plug. All right, I want Bella Delphine bathwater in my plug, because that
no, you really don't.
Will make that will increase my AT field yields.
No,
and
because by that point it's going to be over 30, almost 40 years old by the time. You're talking about 30-plus-year-old
I know,
bathwater
but
that you want in your lungs.
But Gabe, remember,
Daniel.
we are the cursed. We are the cursed
I said.
in this
I called you Daniel. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But remember, Gabe, in this fantasy, all right, we are Ava pilots, so we're obviously cursed to remain 14 forever, even though I'm 22 right now. I will de-age thanks to the powers of the Evangelion. Anyways.
You mean this is going to be a whole, like,
minor
league Benjamin Button thing?
Where was I going with this again? Right. Any hot takes? I got done. Gabe, I've been saving that joke for 2 weeks. That's why I brought it up.
Dale, we can always make these quick, stupid recordings per week.
No.
We could have made one the day after, so you could have thrown something out, like a 20-minute hot take.
No. That's it. I don't have a hot take. All right. I don't know.
It can't be a hot take. It's been 2 weeks.
I know. Well,
she's been doing... Instagram has been shitting on people for, like, the last few months. Basically, anyone who does anything, quote-unquote, related to cosplay or modeling has been, like, screwed over by Instagram. Everyone's moving over to Twitter.
Okay, hold on.
So, I mean...
Wait a minute.
Hey, if someone could sell back...
There's a difference.
But that's true. But
yeah.
Before that, all right? Mm-hmm. If someone on the internet can make money by taking a bath...
All right, I want to talk about...
putting it in a jar... Like, shout out to those people.
I want to talk about some certain things. When it comes to internet personalities and how they lie online, we don't know how much she sold. We don't know what selling out means. There's a very large potential that she sold nearly $40,000 of bathwater. She might have sold 10. Gabe. And even then, it's still a lot. It's still actually quite a bit.
No. Okay, but remember this. Okay. Even if she sold, let's say, one single jar to someone, and she sold it for $10, she still sold her fucking bath water for $10 to some chump online.
God, it sucks so much. There were so many memes that came out, so much internet trolling that's already been debunked. And then she got kicked off of Instagram, and that's the next step in this saga. But she hasn't said anything about it. God damn it, Gabe! God, daily podcast. That's what we're doing from now on. That's all.
Hold on, sorry, I'm drinking boba real quick. It's really hard to laugh with balls in my mouth. Yeah. Anyways,
oh Jesus. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, now on Netflix, with goofy-ass English translations that are fucking awesome.
I enjoy those English translations. Thank you very much.
You can't say they're not goofy. They have
make the show entertaining.
A bunch of people that don't have a British accent do a British accent and then say words. And that's peak JoJo, baby. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
JoJo really well.
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Great show. For those who don't know, very influential on the anime community and anime in general. It's now on Netflix. It's was previously kind of difficult to watch, I guess, if you didn't have a Crunchyroll account. I'm big fan of the fact that it's on Netflix now. I assume Netflix will be getting the third part very shortly because the translation is done. The translation, the main character JoJo in part 3 is voiced by Matt Mercer, who you may recognize as the voice of McCree, or the guy that does the Critical Role content. So, cool stuff. For those who are in the know. What are your opinions?
On JoJo Part 1 and 2?
Yeah, just combined.
My biggest opinion is the fact that 3, 4, and 5 aren't there yet.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because so I hate that I'm repeating this, but as you have told me so many times, and yes, hold on, this is going to be hard to get out.
Yeah.
Dale, you were right.
Say it slower.
Nope. I said it once and it hurt. 3, 4, to 5 is where things start to get really interesting, because that's when we start to get all the cool. I'm forgetting the name right
stands.
Now. The stands.
Yes, just remember, it is a manifestation of your fighting force that stands beside you. So that's why we call them sides. Yeah. So I
But yeah,
would
1 and 2 are very generic, but they're still
still good,
how do
still fun.
They're still good. They're
Yeah.
goofy in like, oh god, it's like a goofy like masculine way.
So, okay,
I
JoJo
don't know
is
if that's the word to
so...
use.
All right, we're going to have the JoJo conversation again about JoJo and the inherent
Yeah.
sexuality of JoJo. So, with JoJo, Araki had actually made 2 previous mangas beforehand, and then he made JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Part 1, I mean, was straight up Fist of the North Star, but now it's Old England. And you're like, damn, okay, cool. And it wasn't all that popular. It was popular enough. And then we got to JoJo Part 2, Battle Tendencies. And we got all of a sudden, okay, they're exploring Haman a little more. And we have a different villain in JoJo Part 1. It was Dio. It was very man versus man of that kind of literary conflict. And then in JoJo
You
Part...
mean stepbrother versus stepbrother?
Well, yes, basically. But they're manly. Even though, remember, they're 16. Kind of. I guess
right,
they're
they graduated college.
They
with the most
they are
muscular 6 foot
graduated
something.
college. Yeah, they are graduated college, but they are the size of fucking mountains. Which is
And
all
only
just
16.
and only 16. No. In Part 1 JoJo they are adults, but in Part 2 JoJo they're adults. Part 3 JoJo they're children. They're high schoolers, literally high schoolers. And
Do they look like high schoolers?
No, God, no.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, but
None
anyways,
of them ever look like... They never look like kids.
that's okay.
Why can't you just draw a high schooler like a high schooler?
What?
No high schooler is going to be 6'2".
Because
with
it's
muscles on muscles.
Listen, Gabe, there's going to be you're going to have a lot of questions about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and my response is going to be because it's JoJo. So, to answer your question, because it's JoJo. So, one thing that's very interesting about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is that Araki used models as references to draw to draw the manga, and that's why you have like the JoJo pose meme, right? Like that is what it is. JoJo to the outsider is known as the weird show where they keep striking these poses and then there's palette changes for whatever reason. But the reason why is because Araki, the creator of JoJo, used like glamour models for it. And one of the most famous ones, I would say, in my personal opinion, is one of the shots of Dio when he has gone full vampire and he kind of looks over his shoulder. This comes in later to show off that he has the JoJo star on his left shoulder, because he stole the first JoJo's body. And that like one in particular was like, it's like, the advertisement was like for women's makeup, I think. And so the pose is supposed to be very sexual and very inviting, and that's why Dio's kind of hot. And so that's why that's why this show is so odd, because it's a bunch of men posing like female fashion stars. That's the heart. That's the core of JoJo.
I wish I knew half as much about like anything as you do about JoJo.
I wish I had practical knowledge, Gabe.
That's okay. Fair. You make me feel better about myself.
Also, again, I read one Medium article and I don't remember it in its entirety, but I read it, had some cool information, and it's just in my brain now. And so we talk about JoJo, and I like to bring it up.
Why is it that that JoJo is so consistently inconsistent?
So this is a power scaling writing problem. So in JoJo Part 2, it evolves from that man versus man literary conflict to man versus God in the form of Cars, the ultimate God being. And then you get to that point and you sit there and you're like, okay, literally, what do we do? And Araki had the genius idea of making it be stands and stands battles. In Part 3, it's still basically a shonen series where it's like we're going to solve our problems by punching each other harder. But also what the JoJo conflicts become later on is not so much punching each other harder. It's just like how this stand's weird power interacts with this stand's weird power. and who wins because of it. I mean, we literally, like, right now you have only experienced Hamon, which is ripple energy of what you breathe and use your ki to punch things really well. But in later you have stands, and each stand is, the embodiment of their fighting spirit. Each stand has their own unique powers. You have Star Platinum, who can freeze time-ish. You have The World, which freezes time. You have then you have Hermit Purple, which is a crazy vine thing that shoots from your hand and slaps people, but also you punch a camera with it. And
what? Hold on.
Yeah. So you punch a camera that has to be a specific price. It has to be an expensive camera, and you punch the camera, and then it has to also be a Polaroid camera, mind you. And then the Polaroid, then it shoots out a Polaroid that is predicting the future. And in part 3, that's how they track Dio. And then we get to part 4, where we have a stand's power. What's a weird stand in part 4? I would say,
I mean, zippers are weird.
No, that's part 5. We're talking part 4.
That only comes in part 5.
That comes in part 5.
In from part 4.
No. So
zippers is my favorite.
In part 4, we have a young child whose stand's power is to collect small items. But the thing is that he doesn't have, the stand is not one big muscly man. It's like a bunch of tiny little beetles. And so the way he utilizes it is to go and collect spare change. And he makes over 100,000 yen a day, which is a pretty chunky sum of money or something. It's something insane like that. I think part 4 is really cool because it's mainly a slice of life anime. It's not shonen in any way, shape, or form until they have to beat their final villain. And then in part 5, it's literally part 5. Oh, fuck, what are some of the stands in part 5? I'm literally just got done watching it. Of course, you have
a gravitational force kind of guy.
No, that's
no.
Well, so that is actually from part 4. That's okay,
Reverb. But he shows back up in part 5
very briefly. He
okay.
Spoiler alert. He's only in the first episode, maybe the second episode. Pretty sure it's just the first episode. Yeah. So there is Reverb. Reverb is interesting because you have Reverb Act 1, which is he draws kanji FX on people, and then it kind of happens / they hear it, and then part 2, and then Reverb Act 2 is the same deal, but this time he can throw the kanji symbol, but then the thing will have the what's the word I'm looking for? The print, not the principles, so for one, okay, I'm just going to spoil something straight up for part 4. There's a scene where the user, Koichi, right? No, wait, fuck. Yes, Koichi. He is falling off a cliff, and then he throws the kanji symbol boing onto one of the very sharp rocks below, and then he just bounces right off of it, right? So it gets the properties. There we go. It gets the properties of the kanji symbols. And then Reverb Act 3, you're like, all right, cool. What's going to be the weird kanji thing? It's nah, I control gravities at a 3-meter distance. It's oh.
You know what's really sad is I know when I watch it, it's going to be one of the dopest, funniest, stupidest things that I'm going to enjoy.
So cool. You're oh my God, that's how they get out of this situation. That's amazing. But
listening to you describing it is so bad.
It doesn't do it justice. I literally cannot do it justice. It's weird. It's a weird show. It's a weird show, Gabe.
So part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2. Awesome. But you got to remember, and also again, there are 7-8 parts of JoJo. 6 of them are stands.
So many parts.
Yeah, 6 of them are stands.
The first 2.
So that's why we all talk about stands. Yet. Yeah, and you will get there soon
I know everyone
enough.
always talks about the stand. There are actually some really good cosplays of people with their stands, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Part 1 and 2, I like the fact that there's just this consistent, very generic shonen man versus man versus god kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Pillar Men are probably some of my favorite villains.
Oh, dude.
Just for what?
Just their theme, Awaken, is absolutely iconic. It is wonderful.
Oh yeah.
It is
like
some good
I think
shit.
above anything else, I aspire to look like a Pillar Man. not because I want to be like an all-ending god, but because holy crap,
They are attractive men.
man, I questioned my sexuality for a little bit with them.
Yeah, it's okay.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, because
But
JoJo.
oh my god, they're so dope. I will say that the whole, I mean, this isn't a spoiler or anything because
Show's been out forever.
how long has part 1 and 2 been out?
Forever.
Okay, good. The fact that the woman training him was actually his mother, like that one actually caught me off guard. That one I didn't know because I never read the books.
Haman makes you younger.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it affects your age.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why she's young
Ah.
and hot. Frankly, she's hot. So yeah, that's.
But why was her name? Why was her name 2 first names?
Because it's JoJo.
Because it's
JoJo.
Fuck.
Why?
Why? I gotta stop asking you questions about JoJo.
Listen,
that's the only response I'm gonna get.
We get Jonathan
I
Joestar.
want to try to break this down and understand it in a way that makes sense to my brain.
We got Jonathan Joestar, Jotaro, Jonathan Joestar, Joseph Joestar, Jonathan Kujo. Oh god, I forgot part 4 JoJo. Josuke something or other, part 5, because he has to stick to this weird JoJo naming convention, but also wants it to be Italian. Giorno Giovanni. Also,
spelled with a G, right?
Yeah, with a G, G-I-O, JoJo. By the way, everybody in part 5 is named after an Italian food. You're gonna
Giovanni is.
Yes, it's a dish. Some of them you won't know. It's like Giorno is let's see what Giorno.
I don't know anything about Italian dishes. How am I supposed to know that?
Giorno.
Like I would understand if someone said this thing is called ratatouille, because that's famous.
Maybe Giorno isn't actually the food.
Is it Giovanni?
Oh no, there it is.
Giovanni just sounds like a name.
Zuppa del Giorno is a meat pasta.
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. One of the characters' name is Chocolate, but it's Italian, so it's chocolat.
Is it
chocolat? I don't know.
What is his stand?
What is his stand?
If it's nothing to do with chocolate or vanilla, I'm gonna be real sad.
No, chocolate stand is that his stand releases a pathogen. It's a unique kind of mold that when you descend from your current position, right? So if you go down, like you walk down a flight of stairs, the mold will eat your body.
What the?
Yeah. So to defeat him, they have to drive up a hill. But here's the catch. Gabe.
They can't go down the hill?
No. He gets in a helicopter and starts going up. And they're fucked. Will they make it out of this fight alive? Find out next time on JoJo. All right. Anyways,
okay. I will say I appreciate JoJo for the fact that it is consistently inconsistent. Being just, it's fun to fucking watch.
It's
like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
So much fun.
Talking about it just is so bad.
It's so strange. It is so strange. It is
none of
the
it makes
weirdest
sense.
thing ever.
But you know what else doesn't make sense, Dale?
Mm-hmm.
Space Dandy.
All right.
Hashtag transitions. Let's go.
Hell yeah. So, okay. I had one request when we were figuring out what show we were going to watch. I did not want a heavy show, right? We'd done Fooly Cooly, and then we did Evangelion. And I was saying, I think you might have agreed. I was like, listen, dog, I just don't want to watch a show that I got to think. And oh boy, is Space Dandy exactly what the doctor ordered. Can you describe the plot of Space Dandy? Just try. Just give it a try.
All right. Space Dandy is about a dandy guy in space with his dandy space crew as they search for interesting aliens to try to make money because they're too lazy to get a job.
Exactly.
And boobies.
Which is the name of a restaurant. And yes, the answer is yes.
But also questions. Dandy's way of appreciating women.
Yeah, so, all right. A lot of T&A, a lot of T&A. If you don't like T&A, this show's not for you. It can
I don't know what that means.
Tits and ass.
Ah, yeah. Gotcha.
So, it's fun, I say. It's a nice spin on the harem genre, kind of, if you could call it that. Space Dandy is an episodic series where every episode ends just like it began. It's very good writing, actually. Very good. Like, if you ever want to like learn how to write like a perfect story circle, the episode, which one was it? There's Always Tomorrow. It's episode 10 of season 1. By the way, we only watched the first season because we are changing the way we are watching things. We will describe that later. So episode 10, There's Always Tomorrow, baby. It's about a time loop and about how, like, well, okay. The plot device is a time loop, but it's about how, your days are cyclical and they always feel the same, especially when you're on, like, a small town planet and stuff like that. This is probably my favorite episode of the season. And because of that, like, I think, and I don't know, and I've lost my train of thought.
It's okay. Gabe, I will say that I got major waves of nostalgia. Just turning this into a different context real quick. So I used to do this thing where I'm really hoping that the people listening to this are old enough to remember a time where if you were lucky enough to have gotten a TV in your room, a small one, or if you were able to sit alone at night by the with the TV by yourself, and Adult Swim comes on, but you're only a kid. So you already feel guilty because you see that it says Adult Swim and you're like, oh no,
scandalous.
There's some bad stuff. It's so scandalous.
Horrible things like Aqua Team, Hunger Force.
And so you need
two Family Guy.
You always need 2 channels. You need you need a good one that shows sports or cartoons in like a really nice way, so you can always hit the return button in case somebody walks in.
Exactly.
And you go, no.
This was the meta.
Sports.
This was the meta.
That was
okay.
The meta. This was the meta for the longest time.
Nick at Night.
That was the early 2000s.
Yeah, Nick at Night. That was showing reruns of the Avatar because Legend of Korra hadn't come out yet, but the series was done, and Adult Swim that was showing Inuyasha.
And so you would watch Inuyasha.
Exactly.
And then if anybody came into your room because you should have been asleep by now, click. No, I'm sorry. I should have gone to bed. Yeah, I'll go to bed.
Oh, look at
click.
Look, it's this is my favorite thing. Okay, because I kind of did that too. In the earlier years, but then I was like the TV that I was watching was pretty far away from my parents, and also I really only watched TV on the weekends, and they let me do whatever the hell I wanted on the weekends. But like I remember going like watching Adult Swim, watching some Ghibli movie that I'd already seen 10,000 times beforehand because for some reason I can never catch like the classics like My Neighbor Totoro and stuff like that. And so I'd be watching whatever they were showing on there, which could have been like Code Lyoko, although not really on Adult Swim. That was more of a Toonami thing. And then later on Deguzi.
That was Toonami, but still.
But like it would be like Inuyasha, I'm just trying to think. There are so many shows that I watched on Adult Swim that I do not remember to this day. They weren't really anything of note, but like they were just shows.
Legends of the Galactic Heroes was an old one.
Legends of the Galactic Heroes was on there. Oh, the big one. This is like defined a lot of my anime watching was Legend of the Twilight Bracelet.
Oh, fuck.
That show.
God, that's so
nobody
old.
should watch it. It's like Dot Hack, Legend of the Twilight Bracelet. Don't watch it. Crap. Fucking horrible. Bad show.
Or do watch it. Just because it's nostalgic.
Fucking bad show. Loved that show when I was growing up. So, yeah, I completely agree. Space Dandy does feel like that quite a lot.
There was that instant thing where it's like, And the one thing Space Dandy loves more than anything else is boobies. And I was like, oh no, do I hit
I gotta make sure.
hit previous? Do I go back to
make sure my
another
door's
channel?
locked? It's not really showing anything that
no,
bad.
because
You
so
just
it's-
don't want to explain to your parents what you're watching.
Yeah, there's some points where like watching an anime is just bad enough to where you rather turn on porn or something and just be like, "Yep, you caught me.
Yeah.
This is easier to explain."
Yeah.
No. It was because it's on Hulu, they still have commercials. And so the beginning, middle, and end always have that same repeated, you're watching Adult Swim, and then in the middle there's that robot that comes from the giant spaceship. There's that spaceship that comes out and goes, Space Dandy will be right back.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I didn't
And
watch
I was
it on.
like, oh my god,
that's so cool. I didn't realize that. Damn.
I instantly felt like I was 8, just sitting there watching those.
That is
commercials.
such a cool experience to watch this. I didn't watch it on Hulu. I had my own means of getting this show. So
lucky you.
Yeah,
give it a try. Give it like one episode.
I
Hulu,
probably
just so
will.
You can see it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I like that a lot.
Because the second I saw that little Space Dandy is coming right back, but stay right here, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my god, wait.
Yeah,
holy shit, I'm 8 years old again.
I was still getting that, but it obviously like wasn't followed by like an actual ad. It just skipped to the next thing. So yeah, that's fantastic. That is such a nice way to watch this. I've always been a fan of like dumb space fantasy series. A better way of saying this is a space western series. Space Dandy, Firefly. Like Firefly is the big one. Everybody knows Firefly. Everybody loves Firefly. Brown coats.
I
Till
hope
death.
people know Firefly.
Yep. So Firefly's good. Obviously, Cowboy Bebop. I mean, literally, Space Dandy was made by the people that made Cowboy Bebop. I like it where
it's also why it's so episodic.
Yes. I just like shows where it's in space, but like it doesn't like. The reason why they're in space is just so they can do weird stuff, like have an entire planet made of plants or have this weird time loop. I don't know if you've ever watched these space operas, space westerns before, but like every series has a time loop episode and they all do it a little differently. DC Legends has a pretty good one too. I would include Disney Legends. Do you watch DC Legends at all? Not Disney Legends. I'm sorry. DC Legends.
DC Legends of Tomorrow?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Only CW show worth watching.
I've seen like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, okay. It's not good. It's not. You got to go deeper. You got to watch it quite a lot of it before you actually fall in love with the show. Unless you're like me.
Yeah, that's
the
point where I hit. I watched enough of it to where I was like, I've seen enough. I still don't like it. It's nice background noise for me.
You gotta go deep. Like I'm not the show.
But I just don't want to go that deep on that show. Anyways, explain the time loop one that they have on DC.
Oh, I don't even remember. The episodes aren't about that.
I thought you were gonna go with some in-depth comparison.
No, not even remotely. Actually, I would say like a lot of them are just pretty generic. Where it's like, oh my god, guys, we're gonna die in an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm stuck in a time loop. We don't understand, nor do we believe you, character who is not us in the time loop. And then they go, oh no, and then they die like a billion times. But then you get to the point where it's like you are in the time loop and like, oh, he's about to drop the Tabasco sauce. Catch it. Now do you believe me? And they're like, oh, we do believe you, character. So that's like pretty much most of the time loop episodes.
That's
really boring.
Time loop.
But Space Dandy
I don't think any time loop that
so
doesn't
different. No, yeah. Space Dandy does it so well. And I'm not. You can gauge a show, a space western, on their time loop episode. I shit you not. And
you can also gauge how stupid, in like a good way, it's gonna be by how the villain sees the main character versus how you see the main character.
That's super fair
that comparison is amazing.
Yes.
To me.
Oh yeah.
Space Dandy's just a dumbass going through space, and there are these 2 giant galactic empires, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this.
Who
There are
cares?
two galactic,
They
giant
mentioned
galactic empires.
No, that's not a spoiler. They mentioned it twice. 13 episodes. 13
I know.
episodes.
They
It gets
mentioned it
mentioned
so many times.
It's so good.
Two giant galactic empires fighting for control of the universe, and one of them has sent like this brilliant doctor scientist guy to go chase down Space Dandy for whatever reason that we don't know. And Space Dandy always seems to get out of it because every time they find him, he's in some deep shit and he needs to escape, and he's able to escape.
Well,
and the only thing
I'm not
these
even
guys
gonna
see them as is like this brilliant mastermind who's figured out how to create zombies, create black holes.
I want to no. I need to fully explain this because I don't think they're not going to be able to grasp what is going on. So each time it's the villains and they're like, you have to catch Space Dandy this time or else you're gonna die or I'm gonna fire you. And they're like, don't worry, it's our only mission objective. We figured out where he is. We are traveling there now. And then you never see them again. For the other 20 minutes, it's just Space Dandy up to his shenanigans, and then something goes horribly wrong. And Space Dandy needs to escape. And then Space Dandy escapes, because of course he does. He's the main character. And then the evil villains show up to a planet that turned into a massive black hole, and they're like, oh my god, how did Dandy be able to do this? How did he know we were even coming for him? Oh no! And then the episode ends with them dying, but they come back next episode, don't worry about it. And Space Dandy is none the wiser because I don't think he actually knows that he's being followed.
He has no fucking
He has
clue
no
that he's
clue.
being chased.
I don't know what happens.
Zero idea.
Maybe there's more stuff that's going to be explained in season 2. Probably not. We have 2 episodes that ends with Space Dandy dying.
I will say, zombie episode, great one.
That's a good one.
Time loop episode, stupidly funny.
Yep.
And then my favorite one was the Chameleone one.
Oh yeah, nobody knows the chameleon alien baby. Yeah, I was like,
not even the chameleone.
I love that at the end of each episode title, it's just baby. Don't know why. It's just funny.
Neither do I. But I also don't understand why his hairdo's like that, or why he travels with a cat and a vacuum.
Okay, hold on.
You know what?
You don't understand the Japanese obsession with the pompadour? You know, it's a very, very, very popular hairstyle in Japan, especially for young teenage punks.
Is it actually?
Very. It is a very,
I've seen it a lot of
popular.
times in anime.
Yes,
and I thought they just used it because they wanted to make fun of the hairstyle.
No. Nowadays,
all right,
yes,
I need
like,
visual proof of this.
Okay, hold on. Japanese
Please.
pompadour culture, let's say.
Oh my god. If there's a whole culture around a hairstyle.
we
Actually,
go.
no, that makes sense. There's like a mullet culture here in America, still somewhere in the deep south.
Yeah.
Just hiding away.
All right, so there is a massive blog post that I won't read here called Neo-Japan is Me. History of the region. The region pompadour has been the go-to hairstyle for Japanese delinquents for more than 8 decades. W. David Marks looks at how the infamous coiffure got its pseudo-English name and morphed from a slick imitation of a British royalty to fluffed blonde biker parody. So it has a massive, massive history, but we are going to go specifically to this image from, I want to say, the 50s or 60s, and I'm going to send it to you. Links will be in the show notes. Hopefully I will remember whatever image it was of delinquents with the pompadour hairstyle. Obviously, it's not nearly as extreme.
Shit.
Yeah. How many of them in this photo don't have that hairstyle?
Okay, hold on.
I count 3, and there's like 20 kids here.
And even so the problem with this old black and white picture, one, it looks like Jackie Chan's about to come out and kick everyone's ass.
Sure.
Not Jackie Chan, sorry, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, yeah, very Bruce Lee era.
It looks very Bruce Lee film-esque. Which, is that racist to say? I have no idea.
It's not. It's not at all.
Okay. I hope not. But even the ones that don't look like they have pompadours, I think there's one that I can clearly see that doesn't.
Still,
They're at an angle in which you can't fully tell.
Kind of looks like a pompadour. Yeah. Obviously, there's more extreme versions of this, but yeah, the pompadour is delinquent culture. It's like
That's amazing.
It's like our mohawk, I would say, or at least pretty close, because you look at modern you look at modern pompadours and they're huge and massive, and I would say it absolutely does. Elvis had a pompadour for a while. In the early young Elvis had a pompadour. So all a pompadour is that the hair is fluffed in the front. So that's what it is essentially. But like I said, I guess it's called the Regent, which is
he did.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yes. So yes, the pompadour is a very, very, very classic. I would love. I'm saving this little history of the Regent. Link to that will be in the show notes just to read through it, just to fully understand it, because I just know it.
That's what that's called. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. You've opened my eyes to a new way of enjoying anime.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's why Space Dandy has it, because he's a delinquent. It's why JoJo Part 4 has it, because he's a delinquent. It's why that one character that's a JoJo reference in Mob Psycho 100 has it, because he's a delinquent. So, yeah. Very, very, very modern. Very, very, very good.
Mine exploding.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Holy shit. See, I was going to try to make some sort of redirect, because I thought you were just talking nonsense about the really sad dog episode, but it turns out that once again you have enlightened me.
That was a good episode.
And I really want to save this picture.
I want to say, for the Lonely Pooch
I'm going to save this picture.
For that episode in particular, I think it's up to our audiences to watch it, because I think it is one of the sweetest episodes in the entire series. So we'll leave that one for them.
Please do. Guys, go watch Space Dandy. It's on Hulu. It's on most places you can find it. I don't know if it's on Crunchyroll or not.
I don't think it is, actually. Let's see here. Crunchyroll. That's my credit bank.
That's not where you want to go.
Not where I want to go.
Or feel free to give us all of your information on air.
No. Space Dandy is in fact no, it is not on Crunchyroll. There is an entry.
Sad.
Start watching.
Well, you can find it on Adult Swim, Hulu, all these other places.
Yeah.
We want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on the first season of Space Dandy, specifically on the dog episode, the time loop episode, and the chameleon episode.
All good episodes. Honestly, all of these are great. I would even say even Vacuum Cleaners Fall in Love is a very good episode.
You mean the rise of the appliances?
Yes. I think so by the way, one of the reasons why we're changing up our style yet again is because, frankly, watching 30 episodes animated in 2 weeks is actually still a lot of anime, as it turns out. So we are breaking things up into roughly seasonal 13, 12-ish episode chunks from now on, which, by the way, was the original plan, but Gabe couldn't fucking keep his pants on when watching Full Metal Alchemist and watched the whole series in a week. So that's a thing, but also to kind of fill in for the lighter season discussion, we're also going to be picking up an anime film because we like talking about those, but kind of hard to get to them when we had to watch 80,000 episodes of anime in a week.
Yeah.
So we decided to go.
Full Metal Alchemist is just so good not to watch,
so
not to binge watch.
It's so good. It's hard. So good.
I actually had a hard time not binge watching Space Dandy because it's just one of those. You can just shut your mind off and watch it.
Yeah.
Not in oh my god, it's so good, I have to see what happened next.
Yeah.
But when you come, are you working right now over summer?
Yes.
Basically full time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm working full time. You're working full time.
When you're working, nothing basically
you know,
about it. I'm technically working overtime.
Yeah, I actually had some 9 to 9 days last week that were not fun. Usually I'm only working 8 to 9 hours, but I've had a few 12-hour days. So when you come home, you're exhausted. You're too tired to play video games because you know you're gonna suck at it.
Yep.
And so you're gonna hate yourself more.
Yep.
You just turn on something like Space Dandy and you can watch a few episodes before you pass out, But the problem is you keep watching it, and if you're like me and sometimes have insomnia, you're just like, fuck, I can't go to bed. I'll just keep watching this stupid shit until I pass out. And so that was Space Dandy for me. I actually rewatched the first season twice over the last like week, because I would get home and I just couldn't fall asleep. And I have to wake up again early tomorrow and then go to bed late. And, the cycle repeats itself. So Space Dandy fit in really well for me this week. It was a really nice way to wake up and not feel so dead inside.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. It's like it's a nice light episode, or like episodic. You can just let it roll over you. One thing that I actually really did like about having this 13 episode thing is that I was able to rewatch the episodes, right? Because I wanted to have like a more in-depth opinion. But Space Dandy is not really that kind of show. So I just want to say
I think
that
it can be argued that the Chameleon one has just a tiny touch of that at the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
But other than that, yeah.
I can't wait to watch.
There's really not much else to pick up on.
Yeah, no, like I don't know, like there's like the episodes do hit on these like notes of introspection, or notes of like philosophical conversations about what it means to be an AI that has feelings, notes of being alone for your entire life, etc., 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 notes of being stuck in your hometown on this endless loop and daily cycle where you can't just get out of it. But I think I think it's better just to watch it. It's hard to explain, That's why I like that's why I like all of these episodes.
You hit that head on. I think each episode comes in with the idea of like, we want to touch on this topic, but they don't do it in such a way that's in your face and you have to sit there and think about it, and then you go into some sort of existential mode where you're just thinking and rethinking about like any sort of deep meaning. It's dumb and funny enough to where it can just like hit you, and you can keep going on. If you were high though, I'm sure you would have a lot of stuff going on watching these episodes, which is why I'm glad I don't smoke.
I could see it. I could see that happening.
I actually full honesty, full disclosure, I would love to get a couple of my friends really, really high around me. I don't want to get high. I just want them to be high, so we can watch these episodes, and then I could sit around listening and watching them discuss each episode afterwards. I think that would be super entertaining.
Yeah, sure. That'll be
what is my personal use of other humans not entertaining?
Out. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, no, like fuck, I wanted to like come in here on like these like coming in full blazing, both barrels blasting, but yeah, I don't know, it's a fun show to watch. The designs are all amazing. I like every single character. They're all very dear and special to me. Such as
the music's kick ass.
The music is real good. Music is very, 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 very good. I like.
What is this info part say? All of the music is pre 1984 styles.
Nice, yeah.
Okay. So from between 70 animation creators and 20 musical artists in the collaboration, with only pre-1980 musical styles. They do some good shit. They do some real good stuff.
Yeah. I think my favorite supporting character is Prince.
Are you talking about the racer?
Yeah, the racer guy.
Blue hair.
He's fun.
Yeah.
He's fun. Okay. Is that it? Is that our Space Dandy?
I guess so, yeah.
Cool. Can't wait to watch season 2. That's coming in the next couple of weeks. What's also nice about doing these shows in this way is that I can watch other shows now, such as Gabe's pick from Studio Ghibli,
Mary and the Witch's Flower.
There you go. I was waiting for you to say
I was like, why did he stop?
Yeah. Okay.
Did I lose him?
I'm gonna be very, very real with you, Gabe.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I'm so sorry. I've already watched it before, mind you. I've watched it a couple of weeks ago. So
All right, fair
I
enough.
have it. I
fair
have it.
enough.
I do
Let's
have
hear
it.
Let's hear
fresh
your
in my
few
mind.
weeks old take on it.
Okay. Love Studio Ghibli. Not the best Studio Ghibli film, I'd say. Very high up there. It has notes of what's what I'm looking for? Shit. Give me a moment. Howl's Moving Castle. In fact, I would argue that it's kind of in the same one. I like how like Ghibli has like that certain style. We all know what the Ghibli style is, but I guess it's kind of nice that this movie it was made in 2018, so it's very modern. So it's Ghibli at 100%, which I really liked. But I think all Ghibli films, I have this issue with. Every single one of them is just that the third act is so long. It takes Ghibli films a long time just to end. So I get pretty bored. Still really like it, but like this movie is only 1 hour and 43 minutes. If you were to ask me, I would think it was 2.5 hours long.
That's fair. I thought it was going to end like 30 minutes before it actually did end.
Yeah, then there's like this whole like bonus third act about magic and where it came from and what it does. I think. I'm still not sure. So
I'm still processing that because I finished. So I had to split this movie up into like 2 halves. So I finished the second half of my watching just a few hours ago. Gotta say, I'm still not 100% sure like what the meaning, if there is any, behind it.
Who knows? One thing though I will say, one of my favorite things about Ghibli films and one of my favorite things about most like good world building to me is that a lot of it is like you just they show you the stuff that's happening and you just kind of accept that it's happening and you're able to move forward very easily because the character sees the weird stuff that's happening, accepts that the weird stuff is happening, and they move forward. Mary's and the Witch's Flower, if I were to like boil it down to very subcategories that ultimately have no meaning, is like Howl's Moving Castle combined with Spirited Away. I think. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
There's definitely the ongoing. That's kind of the ongoing trend with Studio Ghibli movies, though.
Really?
Yeah. How many Studio Ghibli movies have you seen?
Quite a lot.
Most of them follow the same, like, girl gets into situation. Girl is living her life. Girl gets into situation. Girl gets out of situation, in like the dumbest, plain out way possible.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Honestly, the only notable ones that I haven't seen yet is My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, and Nausicaa, the Valley of the Shadow,
the
Wind.
Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. Yeah. So if you haven't seen Totoro and Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, you probably don't see that connection then.
That's fair.
Because I'm drawing the connection between those two.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I don't know. Have
you seen Kiki's Delivery Service?
Hell yeah, dude. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Fucking love Kiki's.
Again, I drew connections from there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, I don't see any Studio Ghibli movies that don't have repeating themes and connections.
One thing that I've always like heard about Ghibli films, and a lot of them, honestly, I think a lot of them have this quirk, is that a whole lot of story is happening in a Ghibli film. Not a lot of plot is happening in a Ghibli film. What's the plot of Kiki's Delivery Service? I've seen it 2 to 3 times. I can't tell you. I can't tell you either. I don't remember what happens. Castle in the Sky, same thing. I remember loving the experience of Castle in the Sky. I went and saw it in theaters. It was a fun date night. I loved that film. So sick. I love the steampunkness of it. I love the fact that there's a crazy sci-fi, but like cool magic sci-fi island in the tower. I love that there's sky pirates. I love all the characters. I don't know what happened. I don't know how they got from point A to point B. Same with Kiki's Delivery Service.
That wraps up Studio Ghibli pretty well.
Yeah, like granted though, but then there are more plot heavy series like Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke has plenty of plot. Love the plot of Princess Mononoke.
Absolutely.
Love the plot of Howl's Moving Castle. Kiki's delivery service. She goes to a town. She has to.
Wait. What's the plot for Howl's Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle is girl upsets wizard witch person, gets cursed, has to go and find a man to get uncursed. Whole lot of shit happens. There's a lot of stuff. The nation's at war with another nation. That is Howl's Moving Castle, right? Yeah, that sounds correct. There's some scarecrows. There's a scarecrow, but there's a prince scarecrow that has
a prince scarecrow
that has to get unscarecrowed. Okay, hold on. All right, I want to do this. For Mary's flower. Okay, Mary and the Witch's Flower. Literal redheaded stepchild. She's not actually a stepchild, but redhead goes to a small town with her grandparents, finds a flower that gives her supercharged witch powers. She somehow finds herself to Ghibli Hogwarts. I'm just going to call it that. And they think, wow, you're very powerful. She then proceeds to make shit up as she goes along. Turns out that that Ghibli Hogwarts is evil because they're making monsters. Right? That's a thing.
I want to let you just go through this. I don't want to interrupt.
Her powers wear off because it's the last flower, I think. There was a book involved at some point to do big, cool spells. And then she gets out with the guy. There's a boy who helps during this at some point. And then stuff happens. I don't remember that she finds her grandmother's, mother's, aunt's old witching house with residual magic. And then she's in a tree at some point to destroy magic. I think she destroys magic. Right?
I'm gonna say no.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna say she doesn't destroy magic.
Okay, all right. Everything else.
I'm gonna say she throws away the flower at the end.
Oh,
yeah, she throws away the last petal.
The flower doesn't. Oh, that's right. Okay, magic gets nerfed. I don't know.
No, magic is. But no, the flower's just thrown away.
I definitely watched it. I definitely fully enjoyed and would recommend this movie to anybody who likes Ghibli.
It's hard to say like you're not going to enjoy a Ghibli movie.
Yeah, Ghibli movies
because even if you don't follow along, you're like, these characters, whatever, blah blah blah. Like visually, it's just appealing.
Yes,
the style is appealing. The music's always nice to listen to. The characters are always usually enjoyable.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any characters that aren't enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single like non-lovable. I think one of my favorite things about Ghibli characters, especially like Hayao Miyazaki specifically, because I think Mary and the Witch's Flower was not Miyazaki. I don't believe.
No, I don't believe.
No, not directed by him. But like Kiki's Delivery Service, that was Miyazaki. Howl's Moving Castle, Miyazaki. My Neighbor Totoro, Miyazaki. Castle in the Sky, Miyazaki. Most of these are Miyazaki. Spirited Away, I think maybe Nausicaa's like one of the few early ones. Nope, never mind. Directed by Hayao Miyazaki. So
this one was directed by Hiromasa Yonebayashi.
Yeah. So yes, cool, good stuff, excellent stuff. Yeah, I mean that's unfortunately.
Oh wait, there's a British novel about. Oh, that's where it comes from. Oh, it was based on a British novelist called Mary Lady Stewart. She wrote a book called The Little Broomstick.
Neat.
She wrote children's books and poetry, best known for her Merlin series. And she wrote this book called The Little Broomstick. And that's what it's based. That's why it's based in Britain. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, what Miyazaki film isn't based in Britain?
Sometimes they're based in places that I don't know of.
Yeah, they're called generic Britain. Kiki's delivery service is off-brand Sweden.
I don't know. Stop it. Stop ruining my imagination.
Howl's Moving Castle is bougie magic Britain.
Bougie magic. I like that one.
Yeah.
Stop ruining this for me. You're terrible.
The Merlin trilogy. Oh, I've seen. I don't think I've read these before, but I believe I've seen these before. Neat.
By Mary Stewart. Interesting. Oh, that's so cool. You can actually get it on Amazon for like $11. The Little Broomstick.
Nice.
By Mary Stewart.
Yeah.
Ignore that accent.
Sure.
Please.
Mm-hmm. Recommend.
That's actually really cool.
Recommend out of 10 on Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Whew, out of 10,
Uh-huh.
I would say a solid 8.
Okay. I like that. I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7 because, well, only because like it's easily to watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like
were you on Netflix, were you able to turn it to Japanese at all or no?
I don't
Were
think
you stuck on English?
I think I just watched it in English.
Yeah, because I tried to change it because I wanted to see if they had the original Japanese, and there was not. So I watched the whole thing in English.
Okay. I definitely watched it
way,
in English, but I think I had it in English because it was kind of a background show for me.
I mean, Studio Ghibli does a really good job with their dubs.
Well,
so I can't complain.
This was Netflix's dub. Netflix was in charge of the dub.
Netflix's dub?
Probably.
Really?
More than likely. If it's on Netflix and Netflix is the sole proprietor of it, like there isn't like a digital copy that you can go and buy, it's probably Netflix's dub.
Oh, that's sad.
Surprised they didn't call her the Eighth Children.
Please get over that already.
No.
You're holding on to that.
No. All right. Good stuff.
She is the eighth children. So, there. We've decided. Mary Smith.
Getting the shit.
Eighth children.
Getting the Ava or Mary. Fuck.
Good. Oh, you're such a gifted pilot, Mary.
Mary.
Please, we'd love for you to represent our school.
All right, we're done with that.
Okay.
Okay. So, for next week, we got Space Dandy, 2nd season.
Mm-hmm.
I may be coming in hot with, dare I say, Attack on Titan takes. Because season 3, dude. Season 3 is real hot.
Have you watched the first 2 seasons?
Nope. I've watched a couple of episodes of the first season and said, fuck this. Looked really boring. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be real. I feel like I was right on that until the 2nd season. But I've let myself get spoiled on the 3rd season of Attack on Titan. So now that we have like severely cut our episode anime watching, I can now branch out and watch other shows that I may not like. For example, I've been watching this. I don't even remember what it's called. Hold on, Magical Girl Idol show. I wonder if that'll pop up. Did I do it? I don't think I did it. Damn it. What is it called? Something about audio gear. All right, all right, Gabe. Real quickly, I've been kind of like really enjoying like these magical girl shows, but like they're not Sailor Moon.
Our pre-take on it before this podcast started really
makes a lot more sense.
That let me know. Yeah,
yes.
It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So I've been kind of like watching those. I would say probably like the two. What I am looking for, in this kind of show is basically just Madoka Magica kind of stuff where it's like, oh yeah, it's magical girl, so it's like kind of fun and actiony, but it's also about death. There's another wonderful webcomic actually that's actually kind of like got me more pumped. It's called Sleepless Domain. They update on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It is wonderful. The only issue I have with this entire series is that it's not over, so thus I can't read all of it now, and I want to read all of it now. Little thing on Sleepless Domain, it's basically about magical girls in a special city that it takes a very realistic approach onto how a world would actually handle magical girls and the implications and the uh, treacheries that befall it. And it's a very good look. It's very, very, very good. Highly, highly recommend it. Every character design is actually super dope. Each one has their own unique powers, especially like the main characters are really cool. And yeah, so highly recommend it. And yeah, what's the movie that we're gonna watch?
Ooh.
I kind of want to stay on the Ghibli train and actually either go with Nausicaa or My Neighbor Totoro.
Let us go. The fact that you haven't seen Totoro really surprises me.
I've never seen it.
That just...
It hasn't been readily available, and I haven't had an excuse to make it readily available to me.
That fair. I don't even want to say fair enough.
Because everybody always tells me, like, you haven't watched My Neighbor Totoro? When I say, nope, not yet. And then this discussion ends there. And I don't know why I should watch My Neighbor Totoro. Simply because it's a classic. I know, and I'm totally fine with that. It's just I haven't, like, a lot of the times when it comes to Ghibli films, I watch them because I happen to stumble across them. The only one that I've ever actively gone out of my way to watch was my rewatch of Princess Mononoke. Actually, I watched Princess Mononoke when I was a young boy, and I had like fever dreams of scenes from that show in my mind. I was like, God, I gotta remember how it actually goes together and how this show actually plays out. And I rewatched it, and I was surprised about how much I remembered. I remembered from only watching it once when I was a young child. And because like the reason why I watched it was because we went to, check this, Hollywood Video Store or whatever the fuck it was called. Hollywood Video.
Shit.
Yeah.
Good.
Because we went to other Blockbuster, and
Hollywood Video was better than Blockbuster.
Yeah, it was entirely. I love
that store.
I went up to the anime section and I grabbed the Digimon film, and then this other one that my dad said, that looks kind of cool because she's riding a wolf. And I'm like, you know what, Dad, you're right. That does look cool. Picked Princess Mononoke, watched that one once during our rental period, watched the Digimon movie like 8 times. Because I had no taste when I was a child. So, yeah, I was actually surprised about how much I really remembered Princess Mononoke from when I was like 6 years old.
That original Digimon movie was a bop, though.
It was a bop. No, it wasn't the original. It wasn't the original. I had the original on VHS. I owned the original on VHS. It was the... Wait, no, I didn't. No, you're right. That was the first movie. I owned the first 2 episodes on VHS. That's what it was.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that original had some dope songs.
It was good. Wasn't
that the one that had We're the Kids of the Future?
Probably.
We're the Kids of America?
I don't know.
Oh,
probably. Fuck. No, that was the Jimmy Neutron movie, my dude.
No. I know that one. I know that had that. Yeah. No. There was like this big fight scene in like fucking space, in like digital space where they had that song playing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it's so vivid to me, and it might just be a mashup of multiple memories. Anyways,
All right, really quickly. All right, we've had the show of the realistic implications of being trapped in another world with Re:Zero, right? And then we have the realistic implications of being a magical girl in Madoka Magica. When do we get the real implications of using tiny animals to fight each other in the anime? When, Gabe?
Do you mean Pokemon?
I mean Pokemon. Also, or they could take a Digimon approach where it's only like one Digimon and then they like super evolve during the fight, and then they get their super ultra mega evolve during the fight, and then they get the super ultra mega combine force power magic boost during the big climactic fight at the end of the season. When is that show?
There's so many shows that you're referring to right now.
I know.
I can't actually mix it. I can't pick one.
When do we get that show?
I think we've already gotten that show.
What's that show then?
Which one do you want me to name?
What is the show where the children realize, oh my God, we're using living beings with thoughts and emotions and needs and desires to kill each other?
Wait, I don't actually know which one you're talking about right now.
I'm talking about Pokemon. I'm talking about Digimon.
Oh, God.
The pet battling anime, right?
Damn it.
We have these adorable passing the silhouette test creatures that do the things. Maybe Digimon already did it. I think Digimon already did it.
I'm sure Digimon's already...
They've done everything.
Digimon's way bigger than I remember them being.
Yeah, dude, Digimon, dude.
I gotta give them full credit.
This is the thing, all right? Digimon just didn't have a good video game. It's the only reason why.
That's
also,
actually the big difference.
You can only have one and not 6.
Fair, but that one is super awesome.
Yeah, that is fair.
And the other 6 are readily available almost to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, you need the other 6 for HM so you can actually progress through the world.
That's fair, yeah. You do need those levels. Digimon, you don't need those levels. You can Super Mega Ultra Evolve and combine and do random Power Ranger-like stuff. But let's go with My Neighbor Totoro. I have that on DVD.
Okay.
So I'll put that in.
Cool.
I'll take that. Give that a good rewatch again.
Cool. I'm going to watch the Digimon the movie, look at my cool red Greymon, and then watch My Neighbor Totoro and the rest of Space Dandy, and that's about it.
Nice.
Recreators. That's another good show we should watch. Maybe that's
one day.
That's the show I force you to watch one day.
I mean, you're always free to force me to watch any show as long as it's for the pod. Damn. And it's not being me being held against my will.
All right, fair enough. All right, Gabe, any last thoughts, reservations? Space Dandy Season 1, Mary and the Witch's Flower. I forgot to talk about that. I ended up rewatching the Ava rebuilds. I think the Ava rebuilds are strictly better than the actual show itself, except for the last 3 episodes of the actual show. I think we need more of that. Hopefully we get that in 4.0. Also, I'm mainly saying that the Ava rebuilds are strictly better because I watched the Ava rebuilds first, and nostalgia I think plays a lot in this series. So, also, Marie Makuname is the perfect waifu. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. As always, you can find me on the internets at Dale and His Beard. You can find Gabe on the internets at Gabbork. The music for the show is done by Surf on SoundCloud. Our wonderful cover art was done by at chickenpineappleart on Twitter. And if I could just ask you guys to do one thing, please share the show.